All right, everybody, we're back. It's Tape Don't Lie. It is the, say your favorite Raiders podcast. Check us out every single week. Wednesday, Saturday, we give you reviews and previews. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. All right. It's your boy Marcus Johnson. That's me. We got BD Williams. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL at BD Williams 18. And definitely hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Make sure you follow us there. All right. So, we were coming off a loss, 35-31. Definitely a tough game for the Raiders, but they play really hard. Definitely show that they're one of the better teams that can hang with the Chiefs, and played a really good game. So
I agree.
definitely some optimism, you know what I'm saying? But there's definitely some pessimism too.
We talked about this because we talked about the Broncos last week.
Yeah.
But then we talked about the Chiefs a lot at the end. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was saying. I want to see them actually have fight and, like win or lose, have it be close at least. So I'm glad that we saw them. They could hang with if they could hang with the Chiefs, you should be able to hang with anyone. It's not a fluke now. The game could have gone either way. And it ended up going against the Raiders, but I'm not upset about it, honestly. I think it was a good hard fought game. So I'm proud of the way the Raiders responded. So
yeah, me too. I thought it was a good game, especially from the offense. The offense looked really, really good. And they did the job. They kept him in the game. There was some key drops and stuff like that, which I'll go over to talk about some of the missed opportunities they had. So, but it was a good showing, and they did show that they're one of the best offenses in the league, I think, because the Chiefs don't give up a lot of points. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Chiefs defense is good or whatever, like after the game, but let's keep it real. They're fifth in the league in points allowed. So that's not.
So right now, it's only the Raiders have gone for over 30 against them twice, and the Panthers scored 30 against them. But after those three games, no one scored. No one scored. Yeah, no one else. Right? Yeah. So, yeah, this is a really good defense.
Yeah, and they tried their best to confuse Derek. So, and he just didn't let it happen. So, it was a good performance all around from the offense. So, it was a good week from the offense. I'm sure you get into the defense, which had some mistakes, and they had the Chiefs had an interesting game plan. I feel like they were playing keep away from the Raiders a little bit.
Yes. They had a very interesting game plan. And so the Raiders had a plan. Okay. Mm-hmm. They stuck with it. It didn't work. It was a gamble. But, hey, sometimes you got to gamble in the NFL. But we'll talk about, some of the game plan, especially what they were doing, why they were getting gashed in the run so much. We'll talk about that in my segment. But why don't you kick us off, bro?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and get us kicked off right now. All right, so let's get into Derek Carr himself. He had a big game, threw 3 touchdowns, 281 yards. Probably some people would say probably one of his best games of his career. I think people are just saying that because it's Sunday night, but that's just me. But it was a good game. Somebody wanted me to point out every time Henry Ruggs is double teamed, so I started off with that. There you go. There's a double team right there on Henry Ruggs. But what we're gonna watch on this play, we're gonna watch Carr's progressions on this play because this is fantastic of him working the pocket on this play to Nelson Aguilar. So I just want to show you guys some of where his eyes are going. As you watch his eyes, boom, you go to the left right here, boom. Look at his vision. We got a little vision cone going, right? Nothing there. He wants Ruggs. Nope, not there on the post. Oh, you got a vision. Oh, I got Aguilar on the backside. Typical Yankee concept, but this is great work in it. Boom. Nice throw in between this is a laser. First down, yak. It's beautiful. So you kind of see what's happening here. He's going through his progressions a lot. And I'm going to show you once again, he has full control of this offense. He's full control. He knows everything that's happening. He knows where to go. This is a quarterback in the 3rd year of his offense. And here we got the post and a little stop and go wheel. I think, here I really believe he wants Waller on this wheel route, but the Chiefs, they're in a quarters look and they play this pretty well. And they played a lot of good defense. There was a lot of options for Derek Carr's first option wasn't always there. As you see, Aguilar he's got 2 safeties coming up on him. Waller, is being, the corner came off and right back down to Waller, right? And he's looking that way. What does Carr know? Carr know he got Ingold at the top of the screen. Check down, beats the Chiefs, right? Chiefs had it played perfectly. They had everything, every look, everywhere Carr was supposed to go. The Chiefs had it played right. But Derek Carr knows where to go with the football. He knows where to find somebody. He's calm in the pocket because he knows what he's doing in this offense. So everything's calmed down. Everything's slowed down in this offense. He's not trying to figure it out. He knows everything. So first down. Didn't matter what the Chiefs did. Who cares? Get exotic, Chiefs. Didn't matter. Here we go. Some more exotic stuff from the Chiefs. You got Tyrann Mathieu. You watch him at the top. He's all the way on one side. And, Carr wants to go to Ruggs on post route here, right? So we're going to watch him go through his progressions here again. So we got the post route. We got Mathieu coming all the way from the other side to double team Henry Ruggs, right? Carr doesn't like that. Carr comes back to Hunter Renfrow. Doesn't like that. So where does he go? Right to Aguilar in the middle. Third progression from Derek Carr. And it's quick. It's quick progressions. You'll see it from the backside, how he's looking, and watch his eyes, right? So he wants Ruggs on the post. Mathieu comes over the top of Ruggs, takes him out, right? So we'll see that, right? He's coming to the top. He wants left. Nope. Right. Oh, yep. Aguilar right there in the middle. It wasn't even hesitation. He knew it because he knew the middle of the field was open. Right to him, right? And then here's another. I just had to show this angle. I wasn't going to do a breakdown of the whole play. This is just beautiful. Him just being badass to me. That's a crazy throw. It doesn't seem that crazy, but from where he was in an angle to make that play, that's making him right, making John Gruden right every single time, right? Then we got the four verts, which I love. If you watch the podcast, I love some four verts in the red zone. So we got the four verts. Right to Aguilar, bam. So I just want to take this back real quick. So I'm going to show you how, Jason Wynn's wide open too. Everybody's wide open on this one. He caught everybody off guard because he got him pre-snap with the offsides. Beautiful throw in the back of the end zone. I think this play would have worked anyways based on, this is 22 personnel. They had linebackers lined up on everybody. This play would have worked regardless, I think. But it just made it even more beautiful. Because he caught him off sides. Beautiful throw in the back of the end zone. Touchdown. So Derek Carr was fantastic. And then I love this play. This is the mesh, the little mesh corner route that they ran with Tyrell Williams last year.
I'm glad you brought this up. I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah, so they ran this play. It was beautiful stuff. Let's take it back a little bit. Show you guys one more time. You see it, see the design. And Derek Carr had a great throw because he knew what to do. He knows what he's doing. Had a blitz. Okay, I know if I just wait a little bit, back up, I got Aguilar open on this play. Bam. First down. It's a big play. Third down, too. Late in the game. Beautiful. He had a blitz. Look, he saw the blitz coming. He got Mathieu to show it. And then just patient. He knew what was happening. He knew if he stayed patient, he's got it. Beautiful. It's just beautiful stuff, man. He's just playing so well right now. He's in full control. All right, let's get to the missed opportunities. All right, so we had some drops. Had some Aguilar from Ingold. But we're getting the same concept here again. They do the mesh wheel the first time, right? Here's the mesh wheel again. And Carr has him. They're not as good a throw as he would want. But you got to catch that football, dog. You got to catch that football. And the Raiders are up 17-14 at this point. They would have had a chance to be up 24-14 or at least 20-14 going into half. Oh, it's a little throw, but you got to catch that. You're an NFL player. It just bothers me. And then here we got the stop and go right here from Aguilar. There's some crossers from Ruggs and Renfrow, but Derek Carr, he's going to the stop route the whole time, right? Boom, comes out, beautiful dime on the run with pressure and the blitz, dropped. Right, just dropped, and that was score right there, 24-21. Man, if he catches that, they can, like I said, get another field goal, right? Or they could score a touchdown. Let's say if they get a field goal and they come down and score a touchdown again, it's a little different game. That last 28 seconds, Derek Carr doesn't got to force it, and they could try to go get a field goal in 28 seconds with a timeout. All right, so here's another one. This is, I talk about this a lot. I talk about Derek Carr and, John Gruden getting figured out and Derek Carr making them right this year. This is another play. We got all stick routes, right? Got some stick routes, Aguilar and Waller, nothing's there. But Derek Carr, knowing this offense, knows he got time, makes a play. Ingold drops it, though, right? It's another drop from the Raiders, another missed opportunity. I mean, it didn't matter on this one because the next play he had the mesh, but I mean, they could have kept him ahead schedule on this play, or maybe gave him more time, after Patrick Mahomes scored later on if they make this play, right? It gives them more time to have another possession, which they didn't because they had to make more possessions and waste more time. So it was a fantastic game from Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr's playing fantastic. It's really hard to stop him if he's playing this way, to be honest. I mean, he just looks in full control of everything. Like, I really feel like John Gruden's not even calling plays at this point. I feel like he's calling the plays. I feel like he's at the line, making the adjustments, getting him in the right play, getting him into a great play instead of like the right play or checking plays. I feel like he's doing all those things, man, and he's just playing so well. He's playing so well, and it's a great thing. I hope that continues. And I mean, if he keeps playing at this level, which I think he will, since it seemed like, because they did a lot of, you saw some of the things they did, BD. I mean, there's a lot of things that like a normal quarterback could throw a pick. Because I really feel like a normal quarterback with that post route with Ruggs, with the safety coming from one side all the way to the other side, like he's not expecting that. He's expecting, okay, I got Ruggs right here. I'm just gonna throw it. Carr saw it. He saw Matthew Culver. Okay, I can't go there. He goes back to Renfro. Okay, I can't go there. There's Aguilar in the middle. Bam. That's awesome processing from a quarterback. So it's fun to watch when he's playing like this. We should all fans should appreciate this stuff.
Yes.
When he's playing like this, because there's a lot of stuff the Raiders can do. I mean, because the Raiders couldn't run the ball that well this game. I mean, I think they did in spurts, but I think like a lot of late in the game, they didn't run the ball very well.
Right.
But I mean, the first half they ran the ball well. Second half they didn't. But I don't, Carr kept them in the game. And I think John tried to stick with the run. Like when they went up 24-21, he tried to run 2 times. I think he should have stuck with the hot hand, in my opinion. I think Carr was so hot that he shouldn't have took the ball out of his hands. I think he made that mistake. I think, you get the hot quarterback. They didn't stop him all game. Did they? I mean, besides the drops, was he really stopped?
Yeah, I saw someone put a stat out there. Maybe it was Josh Dubow or however you say his name.
Yeah, Josh Dubow.
He was saying that the only incompletions were the drops, and then the last minute desperation heave that went for an interception. Those are the only incompletions that Carr had. So yeah, it was just his receivers dropping the ball for him.
Yeah,
until the end of the game. But yeah, I'm 100% with you. This is high level quarterback play because a lot of people look at, oh, that was a great throw, and that's easy to see when you see a quarterback make like a face melting throw. That's awesome and everything, but the post snap processing has definitely improved for him, especially when he knows, okay, now I gotta move around a little bit. That's definitely upped in his game. And then also the pre-snap, just like you were saying before, getting them into the right place. We can hear it now more than ever because there's no fans in the stadium, right? We can hear him and his command at the line of scrimmage, getting them into the right play. And that's what makes sustainable long-term quality quarterback play. It's those little things. They're not sexy. Okay. It's not the face melting circus throws. All right. But that's how you see the guys like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Not saying Derek Carr is going to be that guy necessarily, but that's what they do. That's why they're able to last as long as they are in the NFL, because both those guys, they're not making any Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson throws, right?
No.
But everything that they're doing pre-snap, okay, and their post-snap processing, okay, to find the right guy, that's what's high level. That's why those guys played for so long in the league, still playing, right? Peyton Manning's, those kind of guys. So if Carr can keep that up, there's really no limit to his career. As long as he's got that pre-snap command of the offense and the post-snap processing, he can keep on playing like this for like the next 5 or 6 years. So
yeah, and it was the Bucks game for me, which made me wake up to when I thought that, like, okay, dude, it's clicked for him, because it's like they tried to fool the hell out of him and he wasn't fooled. And I'm like, okay, so. And then the Chiefs did their best. They did their best. The Chiefs never showed him every single snap. The Chiefs never showed him something and then didn't change it. Let's just say that. Like the Chiefs, were definitely out to stop their passing game. They stopped the running game in the second half, I think, because I think they know John Gruden's tendency if he gets a lead that okay they're gonna run the football.
Yeah.
Which that goes back to me. I don't think that John Gruden should have took the ball out of his hands. I think that he should have kept the ball in his hands and let Derek Carr go win that game. And after the first run didn't work, like just not try another run. Like let's just put the ball in Derek's hands and let Derek make some plays and do that. And I think in those type of situations and the type of feel of the game, you got to do that. I mean, like next week, will they have to do that? Probably not, but I just think this game was a game where you needed to keep the ball in his hands and let him go. But it was a good game, man. I thought Waller played well. He looked sharp. I mean, Renfro played well. He looked sharp. The line looked really sharp. I thought. I think it was Ronnie Hudson's probably worst game as a pass blocker that I've seen. I don't think he played very well as a pass blocker. I think he had a lot of issues.
Really, I didn't realize that from the TV.
Yeah, he had a lot of issues. He has a lot of issues this week with that. I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was Chris Jones killing him, or it was a little bit of everything. But he had a little bit of issues this week. But Brandon Parker played well. Again at right tackle.
Brandon Parker. I saw that. I saw that on the broadcast. Brandon Parker looked pretty darn good.
Yeah, he looked pretty good, man.
How many times did they sack him? Just one time, right?
I don't think they sacked him at all.
They didn't sack him
at all. They didn't sack him at all. So he played well. Colton Miller looked really good too. Gabe Jackson played well. Denzel Good played well. It was the run. That's what I'm saying. The run blocking wasn't very good this week. They definitely need to get back to what they're doing. I think Jacobs missed some holes, and so did Booker. Booker missed a big hole on that touchdown run, not touchdown run on the field goal drive. He had a nice hole. He didn't a couple times they had pinball sweeps and they didn't go outside like they did against the Chargers. I don't know. It was weird. It was just weird stuff. But I think go ahead.
They ran more zone scheme. It seems like in this game
they did. Yeah, you're right. They did. They ran inside zone too. A lot of split zone, inside zone, outside zone.
Yeah.
Wasn't as much power this week. But they did a couple of pinball sweeps where they had leverage for them to get outside of where Rodney Hudson was. And they went inside a couple times. I don't know. It's just I guess I'm nitpicking, but definitely some things that they should. They'll see on tape in the running game. They'd be like, okay, we need to do this and do that. So, it was a good showing from the offense. It was nothing really crazy for me to say or anything different. I just think that I think the way Carr's playing too. I'll make this comment. The way Carr's playing, I think a lot of people didn't evaluate him correctly last year. And that's why they're in shock. A lot of people were mad about some of the stuff I said. But if you listen to me on any podcast that I was on during the summer, like I did one with Luke Straub and Larry Marbley and all those guys. I told them this was going to happen. So if you evaluated him correctly last year, but if you just looked at the end of the year and just got pissed, you didn't see this coming. But if you looked at him as a whole throughout the season last year, this shouldn't be too shocking, in my opinion.
Right.
So,
yeah. One thing that I'm thinking of when you're saying this is everyone's. So the biggest excuse, I'll say the biggest excuse for Carr last year was his lack of weapons. And when I did a deep dive in the offense, and I noticed that they won across the middle just fine. They did not win on the outside, like barely ever. It was so rare for them to like get a vertical pass going on the outside. If it was a corner route, if it was a fade route, whatever it was, they tried a whole bunch of double moves to get these guys open. Didn't work. And now seeing how Nelson Aguilar is winning on the outside, right? I think that's definitely something where it's like, okay, this is what Carr was missing, having a very detailed route runner, who can get guys stacked. Does Nelson Aguilar run 4.2s or 4.3s? No, but he does all the little things, the detailed things to get that separation on the outside. And so now that you see guys can win on the outside, guys are obviously going to win on the inside. You got a good run game. Derek Carr is making more plays with his feet. This offense is really gelling. It's coming together, and not to beat it, to keep on saying the same thing, like we sound like a broken record, but this offense is fantastic. This is definitely one of the best offenses in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And the only thing holding back is defense, right? So.
To piggyback before we get into that defense you want to get into, I mean, the only better offense is the one that just lost here to me. That's the only better offense in the league is the Chiefs.
Wow.
So and I think this offseason is going to be funny. I mean, I think it's going to be funny because I think they might cut Trent Brown because how good Brandon Parker's playing. I think they're going to, let Trent Brown go, and all the fans are going to want him to go on defense. But I don't know if you've seen those free agent wide receivers that are out there. I just
All right, just give me one. Just give me one right now.
Juju Smith-Schuster is one of them. Corey Davis is one of them. He's not going to get re-signed. He's got a lot of potential. He can win on the outside. He still can.
He can win. He can win.
He can win on the outside. He's out there.
Corey Davis ran one of the best routes I've seen this year in the red zone. So yeah. I like Corey Davis. I like
Corey Davis too. I'm a Corey Davis truther. I am. I really am. I think he's a very underrated player. He's out there. You got Allen Robinson. He's just chilling.
Do you think the Bears will let him go?
I don't know. Who knows about that? We'll see.
Allen Robinson
he's gonna be a good 17 million. I mean, he's basically Trent Brown's salary. That's all I'm saying. just I'm just saying, fans. It's like, John Gruden loves offense, and he's like, I got the best offense in the league, but I'm not better than the Chiefs yet.
Yeah, not quite.
Not quite. You know what I mean? So he's gonna be like, Allen Robinson, here's 17 mil.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, we'll see. I'm not going to try to predict the future, but that would be interesting, especially after they took Henry Ruggs in the first round. They got to re-sign Aguilar within the next couple weeks. I know he's dropping the ball, but come on, this guy's winning.
He's playing well. He is. I mean, because he's such a good route runner.
Yes.
That it's at this point. I mean, he's the best. I mean, that's why he's getting on the targets. I mean, you guys can be mad. He's gonna have some drops. It is what it is at this point. I mean, I think he start getting targeted so much.
Yeah.
That he is gonna have some. I mean, he's not gonna make the tough catch. I mean, those are tough catches. Let's just be real. I mean, like if that was AB, I'm so mad about AB. I saw him make a couple tough catches for Tom Brady. I was mad because I'm like, man, the way Derek Carr's playing, AB probably would have caught some of those passes. You know what I mean? Like it made me more frustrated. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he's gonna drop some passes, but he's also gonna make some plays too. So, I think he deserves the targets to me. So to me, he's earned it.
He's definitely earned it. He's definitely earned it. And then, they're hanging a safety on top of Henry Ruggs. These almost every single team we've seen, since week
the Chiefs game.
Week 5, since the first Chiefs game, they're hanging a safety on top of him. He's opening up. I know people are so upset. They're like, look, why isn't he getting more targets? Okay. They're scoring 30 points a game, this offense, right? Yeah. They got a winning record. What are you just complaining for your fantasy team at this point?
No, they're complaining. See, the disconnect is the real disconnect is the Raiders are a good football team. Okay. Fans aren't used to Raiders having a good football team. So let's keep that real, right? So they're used to rookies like last year having to produce early because the team's not good. So this is more of a luxury draft this year. They were adding on to a halfway decent team and then building on how the decent the team was last year. Okay. So going into this year, they didn't really need that crazy production from Henry Ruggs. Because they got Henry Renfrow, they got Darren Waller, now you got Aguilar who came in. You got Josh Jacobs. You got all these guys that are going to get touches and get the ball, right? Henry Ruggs was a luxury. He just was there. He's basically there to, he's there to help open up the offense. And then, and while he progresses, because he wasn't pro ready, he's getting better. I mean, he had some good reps that I saw this week too. He's getting better against press. He has some good reps this week. It's just you see Tyrann Mathieu on, he's on the weak side. And he comes all the way over to the strong side, post snap. I mean, that's how many other players is that happening to? First of all, let's just keep it real with ourselves. I didn't show it here, but they bumped him off the line a couple times with linebackers. That doesn't happen. Does that happen to CeeDee Lamb? No, it's not. Let's just keep it real.
Would that happen? No, okay, if NFL defensive coordinators thought the same of Henry Ruggs as what a lot of fans are right now, or even people outside of Raider Nation, who are like, oh, look at Henry Ruggs' stats, he must suck or something like that, right? If defensive coordinators thought the same thing, are they literally game planning and making sure safety's on top of this guy every time? And everyone else is eating, and they're like, still, no, we're not taking a safety on top of this guy. It's a big play waiting to happen.
Right. Aguilar's getting one-on-ones with no help, and he's killing people, and nobody's double teamed him yet for weeks. Not
because of Ruggs. So
because of Henry Ruggs.
Yes, his addition into this offense is opening things up, and that's why I think if you got a guy like Jerry Jeudy, okay, that's a comparable skill set to Nelson Aguilar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say maybe if you got a guy like CD Lamb, for all we know, like CD Lamb is like it's Michael Gallup, it's Amari Cooper, it's CD Lamb. Who are you going to defend over there, right? So it's a little bit tough to know for sure how CD Lamb is going to translate to every single offense in the NFL, right? It's tough. It's just because these guys are so good that are with him, right? Mm-hmm. But it's that element, like you're saying, it's an element that changes the dynamic on how defenses are going to actually defend them. Okay, not necessarily getting a guy who's going to be like 100 catch a year guy, which I really do truly think Henry Ruggs has a chance to be a 100 catch a year guy. Look at the way that John Gruden used Joey Galloway late in his career. Obviously, Joey Galloway was a seasoned vet by the time Gruden got his hands on him, right? But we're talking about that game-changing speed, using him in the short game, using him in sweeps, screens, passing deep, whatever it was the entire playbook was open. I still think that Henry Ruggs is going to get there, has the potential at least to get there at some point. But right now, just look at what he's doing to these defenses. Be happy with it. You know, don't get upset that the guy isn't blowing up your fantasy stat sheet. Okay, guys, relax.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. Like the Chiefs seriously were like, Henry Ruggs is not going to beat us.
Right.
So that's my thing with the whole rookie thing is like, yeah, Justin Jefferson is killing it, but he has Adam Thielen, and teams want to stop Adam Thielen too. So Jefferson's getting one-on-ones, and he's a good route runner, so he's going to win, right? He's winning. So, you know, let Adam Thielen get hurt, and he's still balling, and I'll be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because then they'll be like, okay, let's stop him too, and we'll make it happen. But, you know, Ruggs doesn't have that luxury, and since Ruggs is getting all the attention, Aguilar is eating. Let's say a team decides, okay, let's stop Nelson Aguilar. Does Ruggs eat that game? I believe so.
Right.
So, you know, that's kind of how I look at it. I believe that. I believe if a game where Nelson Aguilar is the focus, which, I mean, we got to I mean, I don't know how much teams want to see. I don't know what they're looking at. Maybe they should start focusing on him a little bit more, to be honest. You know, I think then Ruggs might start getting these targets. I showed you guys, he just wasn't. He was a couple of plays I showed you. He was the first progression.
Yeah,
they're calling his number.
Right.
It's just Derek Carr. I mean, you guys don't want him to. You know, you can't force it with Tyrann Mathieu floating around. You know, so
right.
You know, all right, guys. That's enough of the offense. Let's get into this defense, BD. Let me see what we got here.
All right. So yeah, we'll get into the defense. I want to talk about Damon Arnette. I know everyone's down on John Abram blowing a coverage at the end of the game here, but I think there are bigger fish to fry as far as some of the Raiders' struggles on defense. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I do like Damon Arnette. I do like him, but he struggled in this game. Here, you know, he's in cover 2 in this game, and he's coming down to tackle Le'Veon Bell. This should be a 5-yard gain. Okay. And you see him stop his feet, kind of dive at the ankles there. You can't stop your feet in the NFL. You got to run through contact. It's just a cardinal rule. You know, and he struggled. He missed a lot of tackles in this game. This is another one. This is another example. He's down here at the bottom of the screen. You could say he's a tad late diagnosing this play here. And then what should be a 3 or 4 yard tackle or a tackle for a 3 or 4 yard gain, he ducks his head, and you can't tackle what you can't see. You can't duck your head. Okay. And, you know, we saw this over and over and over again from Damon Arnette. He had a real tough day tackling, but he also had a tough day in coverage as well. He's playing in a cover 2 look here, and I like his reroute. Reroute's good. He reroutes the guy, and now he's got to sink and cushion the vertical, okay, and with vision on the quarterback. All right, now if there's a vertical, he gets underneath it. If there's an underthrow, he picks that off, right? If the running back goes to the flat, he comes down here to the flat to rally on the tackle, okay? Now, the problem here is he doesn't need to be any wider than the running back. And you see him here, he's got a lot of space, a lot of distance between him and the wide receiver. Okay, if the running back is all the way inside the numbers, like 5-6 yards inside the numbers, he doesn't have to be a yard or two outside the numbers. He can be and squeeze this wide receiver here. And he doesn't squeeze him. He just runs to grass. He's covering grass. He's not covering anyone here, okay? So right. So he needs to squeeze this down a little bit more. Maybe that quarterback doesn't throw it. That's going to come with time. Not a good cover 2 rep here. This is an example where they're in cover 3. He bails out of here, showing press, okay? And he's running down the numbers, and he's a little late to diagnose that Travis Kelce's running to his zone on a corner route, okay? And really the biggest problem here, aside from the processing, is look at his transition. Okay, when he sees Travis Kelce, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 step. Oh gosh, that's not a good transition, guys. You can't flip and take that many steps. Okay, ideally you want him to plant this foot, drop his weight, and pivot. And look, he's right on the numbers. Travis Kelce is running right through the numbers as well. He maybe could have affected this play. And really, this is just going to come with time, understanding the route concepts that you're going to see in the NFL, seeing things a little quicker so you don't have to be caught off guard. Not a quality coverage rep, and that's in cover 3. And then also in man, you see him getting beaten. And the break is good. There's a good break here, but there's a situational awareness. When you're playing man on a tight end, you see a tight end run a screen in the NFL or a slant in the NFL, that quarterback knows you're going to beat him to that spot. And a lot of times in the NFL, you'll see a quarterback go back shoulder on the slant. This is just a situational awareness thing that he's going to get with time, okay? But he, by far, gave up the most catches for first downs, for yardage, whatever it is in this game. Now, he did have some quality reps. I'm not going to crap on this guy altogether. This is a press man rep against Tyreek Hill. I want to end on a little bit of a high note. What I love about it is he playing press? Is he bailing? He's playing that little mind game with Tyreek Hill, catches him off guard, gets the reroute, finds the ball. That's a quality rep. So he did have some quality reps, maybe in man coverage, but the rest of the zones, whether it was cover 2, cover 3, he was struggling, okay? And you got to learn how to play all those things if you want to play coverage in the NFL. Now, he also had the misfortune of being on the back end of the worst call of the night. Okay, this is not pass interference. You see him here. He's playing the ball. He's got his eyes on the quarterback, okay? And Travis Kelce just runs into him and shoves him, and then he gets called for pass interference. So that's a trash call. Now, let's talk about what the Raiders did to take away the pass options for the Chiefs and how that impacted their run defense or negatively impacted their run defense, okay? Now, this is an example here, and this is a funny look because Kwiatkowski, he's an A-gap player in this front, and for some reason, he's lined up in the C-gap. Okay, why is that? Because he's got man on this back, and if this back releases on a passing route, he wants to be outside there, and you see him jump outside before he comes back inside to play the run, and they give up an 8-yard gain simply because they're selling out to stop the pass, okay? Here's another example, Clyde Edwards-Helaire touchdown run. You see Max Crosby here slant inside, and all the fans rightly were wondering, why are these guys slanting inside so much? Okay, why do you slant inside, Marcus? If you're a defensive lineman, why would you slant inside? What's the point of that?
Passer. You're rushing the passer.
Well, you're rushing the passer. You're doing a stunt. Okay, something like that, right?
you're not setting the edge.
You're definitely not setting the edge. Okay, and this look right here, they're slanting inside. Okay, to cover up this A gap and this B gap to protect Nicholas Morrow, who's out here, and he's playing the RPO. So he's either trying to take away the slant or the frontside RPO stick route from Travis Kelce here. So they're trying to take away the RPO. They're not even playing the run part. They're saying, okay, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us running the ball. You're not beating us in the passing game. Okay, yep. So that's an adjustment that they made to take away RPOs, and it bit them in the butt. It is what it is. This is another example. They're playing the RPOs, okay? If you check out Nick Kwiatkowski here on the left side of your screen, okay, Nick Kwiatkowski, he's lined up all the way over the tight end, even though he's an inside linebacker. Okay. And when he sees run action, he jumps out. So he's not even playing the run right there. Okay. He's trying to take away the pass. All right. Here's same exact play. There's a lot of guys doing similar things here. Look at Carl Nassib. If he's playing the run, he's going to get his hands on this tackle and squeeze this guy down to close down that B gap. But he doesn't. He's just getting upfield. He's rushing the passer. He's not playing the run. Okay. And then the last person who's not playing the run here is they get a crack block. Okay, on Jeff Heath. And if you're a corner and you see a crack block, you got to come down and replace that man. Okay, on a crack replace technique. But Trayvon Mullen is not even worrying about replacing the crack. He's just worrying about getting beat by a play action pass. So simply put, the Raiders got gashed in the run game because they were not playing the run. They were not. That was their game plan. They were saying, look, if they beat us playing the run, and we talked about this, if they beat us running the ball, so be it. Okay, because they have not. Like, when's the last time you saw that happen? Right?
Yeah.
All right. It's not something that this offense wants to do. They made them do things that they don't usually do very well. Okay, so hats off to the Chiefs offense. They made him play small ball. They made him have a ball control offense. They made him run the ball. Things that we don't really see them do. Last time it worked. It was a gamble that paid off against the Chiefs last time. They never stuck with the run. Even if you remember, in week 5, they had a couple runs. They were going like 8-10 yards, and they never played the run, and Chiefs abandoned it. Right?
Yeah. Like
that was their mistake. Like they always do. That was their mistake. You saw them leaving the checkdowns open, doubling guys downfield. What did Patrick Mahomes do? He was trying to force the ball downfield. He was not taking the checkdowns. So now they had a similar game plan. It wasn't all the same coverages. I saw them do a little bit of coverage tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
I'll probably put those on Twitter. It was nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But so credit to Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. They did things that they don't usually do. They did them well. They did them well enough to win. Okay. So I know a lot of people are looking at, Jonathan Abram missing that, blowing that coverage at the end of the game. Yeah, that was a backbreaker, but it was the straw that broke the camel's back here. Okay, guys, like there was a lot of things that were happening. Damon Arnette was getting torched. He did not have a good game at all. I like Damon Arnette. He'll get it figured out, but they were picking on him because he's a rookie. It is what it is. And last time Nevin Lawson, he was the guy who was starting on the outside, right? I know Raider Nation, a lot of people, especially this offseason, they're like, Nevin Lawson's trash, all that. Nevin Lawson played really well, okay, in this game. I mean, every time he gave up a catch, he was like right on that guy. Okay, he had some great coverage on Tyreek Hill. Somehow Tyreek Hill still caught that ball. I don't know if you remember where he got his hand in at the catch point. I would say Nevin Lawson is better in coverage in the nickel, but not nearly as good or not nearly as effective stopping the run like LaMarcus Joyner. Like LaMarcus Joyner, when he's in the nickel, there's a run play. He's shooting a gap. He's getting a tackle for a loss. He's rallying to the ball. He's a great tackler. That's something that Nevin Lawson, that's just not part of his game. So you kind of saw Cleveland Farrell wasn't in the game. They ran the ball on him a lot. LaMarcus Joyner wasn't there. They ran the ball on him. So those were some issues. I think some personnel problems too. Definitely missing a whole bunch of practice time. Probably not super helpful at this point in going up against the Chiefs of all teams, right? Mm-hmm. So I think all those things played a factor in the loss. But Paul Gunther's unit, they had a plan. It was a gamble, and the gamble didn't pay off. They gambled last time too. The gamble paid off last time. It didn't pay off this time. So I'm not super down on the defense. Like let's not forget, they clobbered Browns team, which is a winning team in the NFL. Mm-hmm. They beat the brakes off the Broncos. Okay, Broncos are a bad team, but they handled business. They did what you're supposed to do against bad teams, right? Mm-hmm. And then they go up against this is the best quarterback, play calling, offense. Like Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the NFL. Okay, no disrespect to Darren Waller. Darren Waller is probably the second best tight end in the NFL. Yeah. But they got Travis Kelce, they got Tyreek Hill, they got Patrick Mahomes, they got Andy Reid. Like this is a fantastic offense. You're not gonna hold them to under 30. It's gonna be a very rare occurrence, right? And it's probably gonna be them making mistakes more than you doing anything, right? So it is what it is. I'm not down on the defense. I know that people are going to be like, oh, look, the defense sucks. Fire Paul Gunther. I mean, it was a great call at the end of the game that John Abram blew. You got a rookie corner out there who's getting beat a lot. What really can you do in that situation? You got to play him. LaMarcus Turner's out. You got to put Nevin Lawson in the slot. So they had a tough hand, and I think I like that. I like the fight that they had, but the execution just wasn't there. I think this team is trending in the right direction. Don't let this loss make you forget about all the improvements that the defense has been making. The past few weeks. I'll just say that.
Okay, man, look at you with some positivity for the defense, man. I'm proud of you.
Well, see, I couldn't stand it when I watched the Bucks game, and even though I tried to erase the Bucks game from my memory, and the Buffalo Bills game, it was just blown coverages. It wasn't like these guys were just getting beat one-on-one, or it was just mental lapses, right?
Yeah.
You saw a couple of mental lapses in this game, but you definitely saw the unit. They had a plan. It just didn't work this week. The Chiefs adjusted, but it wasn't just blown coverage after blown coverage after blown coverage, or just never adjusting to the same exact route concept, like that the Bucks game where they ran the same over route 9 times and completed every single one of them, and they're just gonna play it the same way, the exact same, the entire game.
Yeah.
Whereas this, they're getting beat in the run, but they were we're still not gonna play it. We're not letting you beat us in the pass.
Okay.
That's what the focus is. And they didn't bet that the Chiefs were going to keep on sticking with the run, and they did. So credit to the Chiefs, because that's a rare occurrence. Was it a great showing on defense? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they were great on defense, right? Obviously, they struggle. Mm-hmm. But more often than not, teams are going to struggle against this offense. Who's really going to stop this offense?
Nobody really has.
Right. So
yeah. To be honest, it's crazy. Look, I had a question for you. I forgot my question.
Man. Okay, yeah. I also wanted to bring up. Okay. So on that play where Abram blows the coverage, a lot of people I've been seeing are saying, "Hey, what's up with the defensive line?" Okay.
It's good.
You're gonna see two guys, two defensive linemen on the defensive left side, slant inside. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's only two stunts that you would ask to do this. Okay. One is that gap exchange that we saw them run on where they gave up the touchdown run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I showed you guys that one. The other is what's called a pirate stunt, where those two guys will slant inside, and then an interior defensive lineman on the other side will loop around and be a contained player. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you only call that gap exchange in a run situation. Given the situation that they were in, they're not calling run stunts at that point in the game. Okay, it's a 2-minute drill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just said they never tried to stop the run anyways, right?
Yeah.
They're just trying to stop RPOs, the pass option on the RPO.
Yeah.
So they were doing a pirate stunt. One of those interior defensive linemen, I forget who it was, if it was Chris Smith or Kendall Vickers, one of those guys, they did not loop around like they were supposed to. It was a blown assignment. There's no pass stunt in the history of pass stunts that does not have a contained player. Okay?
Yeah.
That is just a given. You always have a contained player when you're executing a pass stunt. So someone missed that they were supposed to contain. It was just a blown assignment on that one. It wasn't Paul Gunther saying, okay, yeah, everyone, it's an obvious passing situation. It's a 2-minute drill. Okay. Everyone slant inside. No, that's not what the call was. There's no way. I could never believe that was an actual call. No, they run the pirate stunt a lot. They ran a pirate stunt earlier, and it actually worked. Where you had the looper come around. I think it was Chris Smith. They got into Patrick Mahomes' face. So they ran that stunt earlier. I'm pretty sure that's what it was supposed to be, but I think one of those guys, they just messed up. They just didn't loop around.
Okay. I got my question though. The QB spy. Why do you think they went away from that? or did you see it? Or
No, I did not see it. I have not seen it yet. I'm not finished charting the game, but I have not seen the QB spy yet. I have no idea why they didn't do that this game. I really don't know. I don't know.
okay.
I can't figure it out, honestly. It doesn't make much sense. I thought that I would see Jonathan Abrams spy. I thought that they would play a lot more dime, and they didn't. So it's confusing. Some of it is confusing. I think that there could have been a better game plan. They stuck with the game plan that they had, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know why they didn't spy. I can't give an answer for that one. Don't get it.
That didn't make any sense to me because even with the spy on the last play, if they spied, I mean, and whatever happened, and they had some guy watching Mahomes, it wouldn't have been, because he almost missed that throw to Kelsey still because it was it was on the run throwing back back across his body. He almost missed it. It was a tough catch for Kelsey. People, I know it was wide open, but Kelsey had to come back across and catch the football.
And high point, yeah.
And high point it, right? So it wasn't a greatest throw in the world either. And I think maybe if they had a spy and had somebody coming at him, it would have he might have missed it.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they didn't spy. I can't tell you why. Maybe it's because they had some defensive linemen out on the COVID list. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
And that's why I should be a beat writer, man. Because I would have asked that. Come on, beat writers. Can you ask Paul? Somebody asked Paul Gunther on Thursday why they didn't do the spy.
Yeah. I'll talk to Levi. I'll make sure Levi.
I'll talk to Levi too. I contribute to the same thing he does. Maybe I should ask him, like, bro, can you please ask Paul Gunther why he didn't spy?
Let's hit up all the beat writers. Everyone, be ready to ask this question.
Yeah, we need to know.
I can't figure it out.
We want to know.
Yeah.
All right, man. So to me, it's interesting. I think the biggest difference in this game wasn't even like the defense or the offense or whatever. It was they made tough catches. The Raiders did, because I talked about the Travis Kelce catch at the end of the game. That's a tough catch. He was running this way. He had to turn his whole body, jump up in the air, and catch that football, and he did it cleanly. He had a diving catch when Holmes was rolling out to his left.
And he had some toe drag swag at some point in the game. Yeah, he has some fantastic catches.
So did Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill had some tough catches. Like one of them, I think Lawson knocked the ball.
Yeah, he had his hand all the way through.
And he still got the football.
And he still got it.
That was the first down, I think. That's what I'm saying. That was the difference in the game, is that they made tough catches, because I think the quarterbacks played pretty equal. Is one team's receivers made tough catches when he missed, because not every throw Mahomes threw was perfect in that game, right?
Yeah, no.
But they made tough catches when it wasn't perfect, and that's what happened with the two balls that Aguilar dropped. Or the absolute perfect dimes. I mean, the second one was better, but he still had to dive a little bit for it, right? He couldn't make those catches.
Yeah,
that was the difference, bro. So
yeah, I agree. I think that was a difference, and then also, I mean, we talked about it before. I don't know if I'm in 100% agreement with it, but I don't know how to say this the right way. Instead of kicking that field goal, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they went for it and scored,
yeah,
it's a different ball game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically everyone says this. It's not just Raiders fans, but you got to score touchdowns to beat the Chiefs, and I'm coming around to that. I just don't think you can kick field goals and win against the Chiefs, because they're going to score as much as you're going to score, most likely. And if you settle for a field goal just once, like we saw the Raiders do, and they're not. They went for it on 4th and down all the time. They're like, screw it, we're going for it on 4th and down. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Like 4 downs to move 10 yards. We got that, So they're out for blood every single time. You got to score against these guys. You got to score touchdowns against these guys. And really, I don't think you could really reliably win against the Chiefs unless you score 40 points.
Yeah.
Right? Because even if we saw the Raiders, they had 35 points and they marched down in a couple plays and scored again, to go ahead. So, or 31 points, and then they went ahead 35, right? So, you can't really be comfortable with any kind of lead unless you're like pushing 40 over these guys. So
okay, yeah, it was. I'm with you on the going forward on fourth down, which I feel like he's gonna do that later on, and it's gonna piss me off at a certain time that it's not, and it's just not that conservative nature. He scares me, man. He does. He scares me. He's because
You're talking about
two
Gruden.
runs, the two runs.
Yeah.
When they're up 24-21, like, bro, why are you running the ball twice? Like, you're not gonna run the ball out on these guys. Like, that's not gonna happen. And the lead's not big enough. Even if you did, what if you ran the ball, and got a field goal? It would, you know what I mean? Like he's got to get that killer instinct a little bit too. He's got to get that killer instinct in him and want to beat teams. Because I mean, if you try to do that, don't go for it on fourth down in certain situations, and all that type of stuff. And I mean, he doubled down. I would have kicked the field goal in that situation from whatever, it was a long 1 yard or whatever. Like, come on, bro. Like, it takes some chances. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, especially against the Chiefs. Got to.
Yeah, especially against the Chiefs.
You got to. Here's something that I was thinking about, and some people might think this is stupid. Okay, but this is something I was thinking about before the game. I didn't want to say it. Okay. Would you rather? All right, I'll phrase it like this. Do you think if the Raiders have to play the Chiefs again in the playoffs, okay? If the Raiders make it to the playoffs, keep on having some strong play, have a winning record, get most likely a wild card, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They get a wild card and they have to play the Chiefs in the playoffs, okay? Would the Raiders have a better chance of beating the Chiefs in their third matchup if they won this last week?
Probably not.
3 games, 3 wins against the Chiefs. It's a very low likelihood that if they won on Sunday and then they had to play them again, that they would beat the Chiefs 3 times. I think it's just from a pure dice roll probability standpoint, they have a better chance of beating the Chiefs a third time if these guys do match up in the playoffs again, because they lost on Sunday. Now, I think it's better odds for them, from a pure probability standpoint. Because who's going to beat the Chiefs 3 times in a season?
Nobody.
So that's something I was thinking about. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to sound like a hater. I know people are going to jump on me for that, but I think now if they do match up in the playoffs, they have a better chance of beating them in their third matchup. Now that they're 1-on-1 against each other.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree. To me, on my other podcast, what I was talking about mostly with him is that this Falcons game is a huge game for me. I hope they don't read their headlines. The headlines are Raiders are Brian Clark, they're the third best team in the AFC. Like, stay away from that stuff, guys. Like, do not read the headlines. Do not get a big head. You guys lost. You're still not where you need to be. Okay, let's not get the big head. I know the Falcons are 3-7. I mean, and you got the Jets after that. There's 2 games. Most of these games after this are pretty winnable. I mean, the Colts game is coming up too, but I think this game is going to show us a lot. If they go in there and they handle business and, do what they need to do and play well against the Falcons, I'm going to be pretty confident in this as a playoff team. This is a big game for me, in my eyes. The Chiefs game was huge, of course, but I really feel like the Falcons game is huge because I think they're going to beat the Jets regardless. But I think the Falcons is a team that if you sleep on them, they can beat you.
Yeah.
All right. It's straight up. If you sleep on the Falcons, they will beat you. Right, and they got good players. They got Matt Ryan, they got Julio, Calvin.
Falcons are like a worse performing Raiders in that they have a very dangerous offense, but it's not consistently working well, right? Mm-hmm. And then they have a really bad defense. Like, they just give up points on defense, right? But you get a couple ball bounces, they have a hot day on offense, a hot day on defense. All of a sudden, this is a really good team.
You lose,
right? So yeah, they're definitely dangerous. I mean, any team with Julio Jones, I don't care what their record is.
I know, right?
Okay, I do not care what their record is. You got Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. Okay, no. This is not something to sleep on. This is going to be a big test. This is going to be probably the best wide receiver that Trayvon Mullen's ever gone up against. So that's gonna be huge on that end. It's gonna be growing pains for Damon Arnette again, because Calvin Ridley is nasty. So
he's really good too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So this next game is gonna show me a lot, because they beat up the Browns, which I think the Browns are just as good as the Falcons. So they beat them down. The Falcons are just good as the Chargers, and they struggle with the Chargers a little bit. So it's, and the Chargers have probably the equal quarterback to Matt Ryan at this point, which is crazy to say, but from playing,
it could go down to the wire, right? It could.
Yeah, right. But if they go out there, they beat them by 10, then I'm gonna be like, okay, all right, I see what you guys really are. This is a huge game for me in my mind. We'll talk about that more.
That's valid. That's valid. For me, we talked about this before. You want to see them win against bad teams, handle bad teams. For me, the two games I have circled, I'm not affiliated with the team, so I can look ahead, right? Who cares? Indianapolis and Miami. Those are the two teams where I'm like, okay, if they go in there and show that they're, fight to the finish, or even outclass those teams, this is a legit dangerous team in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
But if they go against one of those teams or both of those teams and struggle one way or the other, okay, then it's like, all right, these are the other 6-4 teams right now in the AFC. And if they don't take care of business, just from my perspective, like Miami's defense is fantastic. Yeah. I don't care what, I've seen enough film. Obviously, I think they've had some games get away from them. Okay. But that's a really good defense. That's a scary defense. They do a lot of multiple things. If Derek Carr can have a similar game that he had against the Chiefs, against the Miami defense, that Indianapolis defense is really good too. Right. Mm-hmm. Probably more. They're
more see what you get though. They're just really good at executing one scheme.
Right. Yeah. Right. More executing. Right. Not trying to disguise things. So two different styles, but two really good defenses, two good teams. I'm more interested in seeing what the Raiders can do against those good teams, those fringe wild card teams right now, to set them apart. Because if they lose one, win one, or lose both, or something like that, now we're talking about potentially missing the playoffs, and probably not even viable in the playoffs if you can't beat the Dolphins or you can't beat the Colts. So,
okay. All right. So, all right, guys. So that's basically our episode for today. We really appreciate all you guys listening, all the support, all the love that we get. Hopefully we answered all the questions that you guys have for us. We try to get to all of those things. But we really appreciate you guys listening. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe. Get us up there. We're already at 2,400. So we're closer to we're getting up to we're almost at 3,000. Hey, so we're getting there. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. Check out this episode. Love it. You know what I'm saying? And hit the subscribe button. Follow me and BD on Twitter. I'm at the Mark John NFL. And then follow him at BD Williams 18. All right. So make sure you guys follow us. We're going to hit you. We'll be back with the preview like we will always do. Previewing the Falcons, giving a little breakdown of what we think we're going to see from them this week. So definitely appreciate you guys for following us. All right. Any last words, BD?
That's it, guys. Keep your head up, Raider Nation.
All right. Peace. See ya.
Later.